My bad.
Yo, what's good?
Yo. We back at it.
We back, man. Another episode. It's like it's been forever.
Oh, man. So many things have happened.
I know, right? Yo, everybody, welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Kevin Briggins, along with Ellis Hudson.
Yo.
Yeah, we missed y'all, man. It's been missed last week due to the Hurricane Michael. Thoughts and prayers out there to everybody down on the Gulf Coast, especially those in Panama City and my Air Force brethren down at Tyndall Air Force Base. No, it's been a tough week. All right, man, let's jump into this. We talked about this. We hyped it up. We let everybody know, hey, this is what we're going to be talking about. Everybody that I've come across in the state of Georgia has an opinion on this. And so I want to get your take as a Georgia fan.
Yeah.
All right. So we saw Georgia this weekend. A lot of people were disappointed with Jake Fromm. Is it time for Georgia to turn to the phenom known as Justin Fields? What say you?
Not at all, man. I mean, the sky ain't falling. This is still, the Fromm that took us to the championship game. I mean, this guy's, we had a bad game. I've said it before that UGA, wasn't exactly the best on defense, and they kind of scared me a little bit. But I think that we have to take our licks this season with Fromm and turn to Fields next season. And there's a huge reason for that. Our next 5 games are brutal. They're brutal. We got Florida, who's been coming strong here lately. They start off a little weak, but they're coming out strong. Kentucky came out of nowhere. I can't even name one player on Kentucky's team. You know what I'm saying? But I tell you what, they got about 4 or 5 Emmitt Smiths on that team that's just killing it right now. Even though Auburn is not looking good this year, I got them actually finishing 6-6. I still see them as a tough game. It's still an SEC team. They still got NFL players on that team. And then our interstate rival is Georgia Tech. That's always a hard game. That's not a gimme game. So Georgia probably outside of LSU, Georgia probably has the second hardest end of in the schedule. What do you call it? Strength of schedule going into the end of the year. I think we got the hardest time.
Okay. Yeah, I feel where you're coming from. This is my question. This is why I say it might be time for them to turn to Fields. Only because something you said about last year, Georgia, they had a strong defense, strong running game with Sony Michel, Nick Chubb, and they just asked Jake Fromm manage the game. He was averaging like 15 pass attempts a game, if that. Right. And so they rode that all the way to the championship game. This year, defense isn't as good. The running game isn't as strong. So the question is, do they need a more dynamic playmaker at the quarterback position to get them back to where they need to where they want to be? And I think that might be why they need to turn to Fromm now. I mean, turn to Fields now, because Fromm he is the Kirby came from Alabama, brought the Alabama model, right? So Jake Fromm is in that mold of Greg McElroy, AJ McCarron. He's going to manage the game. And that is all well and good when you got a stout defense and a beast mode running game. But when you might need to put up some more points, open it up a little bit more, Justin Fields might be the guy that you're going to need to turn to that's going to get you over that hump. I know he's young.
Yeah. So tell me this. What game gave you that impression?
Of Fields or Fromm?
Of Fields. Where you're like, this is the guy that UGA needs to go to. What performance you gave you that idea that he's the person right now?
Well, I mean, we're all going off of high school phenom, dual threat, the consensus, not the consensus, but the ESPN #1 player in the country. He won the Elite 11 quarterback competition. And then just the flashes that we've seen. Like he's only played in limited action this year, Middle Tennessee State, Austin P. But in those little moments, you saw flashes of what he could do. And so we know his ceiling is higher than Fromm. So it's not necessarily that he's there now, but if he never plays, then I mean, it's almost as if Georgia's saying we're just going to ride with Fromm and just going to crash and burn with him. Is if this year's a wash anyway, if this year's a wash, and you're saying, hey, go to Fields next year, why not go ahead and get his go ahead and get the process started and go ahead and play now. If this year's a wash, there's no championship this year, you're not going to go, but you're going to turn to Fields next year, go ahead and turn now.
Okay, but what if Fields gets hurt?
Fromm's still there. He's not going anywhere.
Let me tell you, you put Fields in, if I'm Fromm, I'm leaving.
He might leave at the end of the year, and that'd just be a casualty of it.
I'll give y'all
he can't redshirt this year, right? So he's already played the 4+ games. And so I don't think there's any risk of him leaving. He's a Georgia kid. And that's what makes this thing tough. Both of these guys are homegrown Georgia kids.
Right.
Right. And so it's a really tough position. I just don't know how far Jake Fromm can take this Georgia team.
I mean, last year we were up on cheating Bama.
Yeah, and then we put in the best quarterback in the nation into the game, and
y'all put this dude in that straight destroyed us.
and as you can see from this year, don't feel bad.
God,
for everybody.
God, man, this guy too. And then putting salt on the wound. You got his brother. Highlights of his brother throwing 60, 70-yard bombs, and he's already signed to Alabama.
Yeah. Hey man, you better turn the Fields.
God,
all I'm saying.
God almighty.
All right. So while we're on the subject of college football, all right. So, man, this past weekend was the most craziest, hectic, chaotic weekend we've seen in college football to date. All right. So you had, I believe it was 4 top 10 teams go down.
Yep.
We talked about UGA losing to LSU. Iowa State beat West Virginia. Oregon over Washington. Michigan State took out Penn State. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And then, sorry, Miami Hurricanes. How you lose to Virginia? And then Auburn has tanked their season. They're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Folded it up and went home.
Dude, they already talking about, running numbers on how to do this buyout.
Man, they might as well it's $32 million. They might as well forget that.
Yeah, you gotta suck that up. Yeah.
Yeah, man. But yeah, man. So yeah, this weekend was what's called shakedown or shake up weekend.
That's usually, week 7, is usually about the time when it starts to shake up a little bit.
Yep. Yep. And so also tonight we're unveiling our rankings for this week. So as many of you guys know, we do a poll. We have different people submit their top 12. We just keep it to 12 and we calculate it and come out with it weekly. And so I decided to hold off into putting it out until tonight on the show. Number 1, Alabama, of course, Ohio State, Clemson, Notre Dame, LSU make their debut into the top 5. Texas is back in there. Michigan is back in there. I don't think anybody saw that coming after the Notre Dame loss to start the season, but Michigan's back up. Georgia falls to 8. Didn't fall as far as I thought they might, but they're still in there. Oklahoma creeping in there, man. Oklahoma's hanging around.
Yeah.
It's only going to take a couple of teams losing for you. All of a sudden, Oklahoma's back in that top 4 picture.
Yeah.
You got UCF, which we'll talk about later. Florida's kind of a surprise team in there.
Yeah, they are.
But is that big win over LSU 2 weeks ago that's looking better and better now?
Yep, because LSU is a giant killer right now.
Yep, and then Oregon, who had the big win over Washington.
Yeah,
but I will say the team that's missing out of here that probably should be in there, people are sleeping on them. That's Kentucky.
Yeah, man.
Kentucky's a 1-loss team with a win at Florida.
Them running backs ain't no joke.
Man, Benny Snell, man, that dude is a beast. He's going to be a great NFL running back. I think people just see that Kentucky jersey and then nobody's willing to buy in.
No.
But, I mean, they went down to Texas A&M and lost in overtime. The same place where Clemson only won by 2 points. So you've got to respect what Kentucky's doing.
Especially, being in the SEC.
Absolutely. And this is the thing, too. A lot of people aren't realizing Georgia. So Kentucky already has to win over Florida, and Georgia has to go to Kentucky.
Yeah, to Kentucky.
You can actually have Kentucky win the East and be in the SEC championship game.
And, the crazy thing is Kentucky has an easier schedule. So they can very well, end the season with 1 loss.
Yeah. Yeah, they just got to get through the Georgia game.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on, sticking with college football. All right, so contender or pretender? We're going to run down these list of teams real quick. All right, so Georgia Bulldogs, what say you?
So, we talked about it before. I don't think our defense is where it should be. Does Jake Fromm think about, Fields now? Is he thinking about every throw right now? I think so, man. We talked about distractions. We talked about, chemistry and stuff like that. But those little things mean a lot, especially when you're a young kid. So I got UGA as a pretender right now, man. They got a hard schedule coming up.
Okay. Okay.
4 out of 5 is hard.
They do have a hard schedule, but I'm going to say that they are a contender for one reason.
Uh-huh.
Last year, we saw them go to Auburn, get blown out. Get manhandled by Auburn.
Yep.
And they finished the year out strong, 1 loss, beat Auburn in the rematch, and got in the playoff and finished strong.
Right.
This same Georgia team could do the same thing. So I'm not saying they will, but I do still hold them in that contender category until I see them either lose again or have a shaky game.
Right.
Because leading up to the LSU game, they were definitely a contender, so I'm going to keep them there. All right. Everybody's favorite team to hate, Notre Dame, man. What say you?
It's the same thing with Notre Dame. It's just like when they made it to the championship game a couple of years ago. They got an easy schedule. They played they got USC at the end, but they've been playing. Who was the was it Virginia Tech? They played
a couple weeks ago. This past week they played Pitt and almost lost.
Yeah. So they got a great quarterback. He was in the Heisman talk for a little while, but I think he's kind of fallen off because of these close wins. I got Notre Dame as a contender because of their easy schedule.
Okay. I agree. Notre Dame, you look at it, they have wins over Michigan. They beat Virginia Tech. They beat Stanford. And the toughest part of the schedule is behind them, like you said.
Yeah.
Syracuse could be a problem, and at USC. Because USC is an improving football team.
USC is always a hard game. They're playing in Cali.
Yeah, it's at USC, absolutely.
Yeah, 100,000 strong. That's always a hard game.
Yeah.
But I think this Notre Dame team is riding, momentum. And I think they're going to be in the playoffs.
Yep. Contender. All right, Michigan, man, what you got?
Beginning of the season, so I had some money on Michigan. That first game, they lost. I just knew Jim Harbaugh, the quarterback they got, that transfer. I just knew that Michigan was going to be a contender this year. But, just from that first game, didn't look good. The defense sucked. They got a pretty hard schedule coming up. So I got them as a pretender.
Yep, man, we're on the same page. I like Michigan. I really do.
Yeah.
Shea Patterson is improving. The offense improved. At the start of the year, I don't think Michigan knew offensively what they wanted to be. Traditionally they're a two tight end type offense, right? But they brought in Shea Patterson. They tried to put in, some RPOs and kind of spread it out, do some tempo. It just wasn't fitting. I think now they found their identity, but the fact they still got Penn State, they got to go to Ohio State. I just think and then they got Michigan State this weekend. I think the end of their schedule is a little bit too difficult for them to get through without another loss.
Yeah.
Puts them at 2 losses, so I think they're a pretender.
Yeah, they're pretending. I got them at 2 losses too.
Yep. All right. So LSU, man.
I thought LSU was overrated. And I just knew that Georgia was gonna beat them Tigers. And that was gonna, put us in the talks with number 1 with Alabama. But man, the defense smothered us. He looked horrible against LSU in that defense, and they're starting to click, man. They have a harder schedule than UGA, so I got them getting another loss to Alabama, and that's going to knock them out the playoffs.
Yeah. I think any other time you could say LSU is a contender because, they've already won on a neutral site against Miami. They won at Auburn. Then they just beat Georgia, who was number 2 at home. But like you say, man, when you think about the fact that they've already got a loss to Florida, they've got Alabama still on the schedule. They've got Mississippi State this weekend.
Yep.
They got Texas A&M to finish the year out.
And A&M is finishing strong. Yeah, at A&M.
I feel bad for them.
Yeah,
I really do, because that's a murderous schedule.
I see them at 3 losses, honestly.
I got them at 3. And a 3-loss 9-3 with that schedule that's a successful season.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got LSU as the pretender simply because the road is just too hard.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna lead this next one off because if it flows in, the reason we talk about LSU and their schedule is the reason why I say the next team is a pretender, and that is UCF.
Yeah, just the opposite of LSU.
Just the opposite. You cannot play that schedule. A 1-point win at Memphis. You got East Carolina coming up. That I just cannot respect that schedule. Their strength of schedule right now, I think, is 108th in the nation.
Yeah.
For that reason, for all the things we talked about with these other teams, is why I have to say UCF is a pretender.
Right.
Because when you look at the road that these other teams have to go through, it was not fair to them to put UCF in, and UCF has to play nobody. It's not saying UCF is not a good team, a good football team. I do believe they're a good football team. But week in, week out, you don't have to play the teams that everybody else has to play. I can't respect you like that.
Yeah, they got to schedule an out-of-conference big team, Power 5 team. They got to.
And they tried, I guess you can say. They got North Carolina on the schedule, and that game got canceled.
Yeah,
they played Pitt, and they beat Pitt. The problem is Pitt's not good.
No. They got to do what Boise State did. But you see what happened to Boise State.
Yeah.
We don't even talk about Boise State no more.
Yeah, Chris Peterson left. He went to Washington. They've kind of gone down since then.
Yeah.
All right. So, man, that was a good rundown of college football this week. Let's transition a little bit to the NFL. We had another great week of pro football.
Yep.
All right. So we had some really, really good performances. And so I want to get your thoughts on who you thought was most impressive this weekend. Aaron Rodgers, Brady, or Mahomes. 3 great quarterback performances.
Yeah.
Who were you most impressed with this weekend?
So I watched both of these games. And first of all, the Patriots versus the Chiefs was probably, to me, the game of the week. It lived up to the hype. They scored a lot of points.
43-40.
Yeah, man. My boy Josh Gordon, he's back. He's catching balls. He's looking good in the Patriots offense. Tyreek Hill, man, is a beast. How how is he wide open like that? Like
Andy Reid, man. Andy Reid's a great play caller, man.
Yeah, man. I don't, on the Patriots defense, Patriots defense is always, top 15, top 10. So for him to be that wide open was ridiculous. And for Mahomes to see that and get him the ball, that was a good shot.
Yeah.
But I think the top performance has to go to that man, Aaron Rodgers. Dude,
there go that.
Yeah, dude, he put the team on his back. I mean, honestly, like he put the team on his back, bro.
I watched it happen to my Niners.
Yeah, I said he's surgical.
Yeah, and you know what? I couldn't be happier. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers, for helping us to not ruin our season by winning a game. You don't need to win games. Hank, we're going for that Nick Bosa pick. Hank, stop trying to win games.
Yeah, so that performance by Aaron Rodgers, man, the dude comes through, and Aaron Rodgers probably accounts for more wins in the NFL than any other player. He's got to be, what is it? I don't even know how to calculate that wins above replacement.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Was that a baseball stat?
I think it is.
Yeah. So
baseball got all kind of stats.
They got all kind of stats.
Yeah.
So wins above replacement. Let me calculate that to the NFL. Aaron Rodgers is at a 10. Everybody else is at like maybe 3 or 4 as far as quarterback. Aaron Rodgers is unbelievable, man.
Yeah, he is. But I will say, to me, the most impressive performance of the weekend was Mahomes. And I know they lost, but and we could first of all, there's no wrong answer in this because Brady was unbelievable, Rodgers was unbelievable. But when you think about Mahomes going to Foxborough against a Bill Belichick defense in his first year starting, and to have the kind of performance he had, that to me, that's the most impressive thing I saw this weekend.
Yeah, he didn't lose the game.
No.
The Chiefs defense lost that game.
Yeah, he put up 40.
Yeah, because that last throw to Gronkowski in the fourth quarter, less than a minute to go, like I could have guarded Gronkowski on that play. That dude was running so slow. It was like 10 miles per hour. Who was guarding him, man? Was that a safety or something? Who was that?
I don't remember the exact play. I mean, who was covering him, but I'm pretty sure it was more likely it was a safety.
Yeah, dude. Gronkowski was running so slow, and Brady put it right in the breadbasket. I said, people try to say that Brady is like overrated and he ain't the GOAT. Dude, to make that throw with that pressure, the lights, it's prime time. He does it all the time.
Yep. And that's what separates Aaron Rodgers and Brady, man. It is those, if they have the ball last, you might as well just go home because they're finna win it.
Yeah, you've given them too much time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much time.
All right. So another team I know you were impressed with that I want to get your thoughts on. Kind of give you an option because both of these teams were really impressive this week. So I know you were impressed with the Steelers, but who were you most impressed with, Steelers or Cowboys this week?
So I got to say the Steelers. I think that Cowboys game was a fluke game. The stats sucked. Dak Prescott didn't look good at all. But these Steelers, man, and we talked about this in the group. We talked about distractions. We talked about drama. We talked about how that can lead to a bad locker room, And right now, the Steelers don't have that. Bell ain't there. This Connor kid is balling. When's the last time you heard Mike Tomlin talk about any of his players outside of football at the podium? It's been 4 weeks.
Oh, no. Connor's playing well. He's filling in well. Antonio Brown has seen him and Ben have seen he got more on the same page, so he's happier.
Big Ben is having a career year. He's on pace to throw for like 5,200 yards this year. This year, what are they 4-2? This year was the worst thing that happened to Le'Veon Bell. If the Steelers had been 2-4, Le'Veon Bell could be he could be walking in the locker room like Conor McGregor, where he does the he could be doing that. But the Steelers look great, dude. They're hitting on all cylinders, and I'm curious to see how the Steelers are going to look after the bye week.
Yeah, Le'Veon comes back, and we'll see how things get smoothed over his teammates, who basically said, "Hey, he's not here. We don't care."
Yeah, the O-line was like, he lied to us. So who's Le'Veon?
Yeah. So yeah, that's going to be interesting to see how the second half of the year goes. But for this past Sunday, fluke game or not, man, nobody saw Cowboys 40-7 over Jacksonville.
No.
You got to give Dallas credit. Zeke had a good game, over 100 yards, touchdown. Yeah, I thought Dallas, I should say, it's probably the most shocking performance, the most shocking score that I saw was Dallas over Jacksonville.
Yeah. Has Jacksonville hit their ceiling?
No, because I think they're still in the Super Bowl. But they do got to get something figured out. Something's not right now. And we know Bortles is Blake Bortles. But that defense has to keep them in games. Leonard Fournette's hurt. So the running game isn't what it needs to be to help Blake Bortles out. But at the same time, that defense you can't let the Cowboys get 40.
Yeah. The Cowboys.
It's the Cowboys, man.
Yeah.
All right. So on that note, and in that same spirit of what we just talked about, who was the biggest no-show this weekend?
So
we got three options. You got Jacksonville, you got the Bears, and you got the Titans offense. I'm not even gonna put the whole Titans in there, just the Titans offense. I'm not even gonna disrespect the defense like that. So go ahead.
Yeah, my biggest no-show, and I've been saying it since the beginning of the season. Y'all keep on hyping up this Khalil Mack like he's the MVP, but it's October now. I don't hear nothing about Khalil Mack. I don't hear nothing. And you know what? The Bears got a hard game next week. They could easily be 3-3. And then you know what? Then the Bears become an afterthought. So, that was a no-show. I don't think Trubisky is good enough to give them the points they need to outscore opponents. They got a good defense, but you see what happened to Jacksonville.
Now, there's a lot of options, right? Jacksonville giving up 40 to Dallas. The Bears losing to Brock Osweiler. That was Brock Osweiler starting for the Dolphins. Tannehill's out, and the Bears lose that game. That's the game you got to go and say, we're going to win this game.
Yeah.
But to give Khalil Mack credit, he got hurt, twisted his ankle pretty bad. They had to wrap it, and he wasn't the same player the rest of the game. But my biggest no-show is the Titans offense. They had 106 total yards.
Dude, that was horrible.
For the game. They got Mariota had 10 completions and was sacked 11 times. He got sacked more times than he had completions. Dude, come on, man.
Yeah, that was horrible.
Hey, we don't have a hot garbage segment this week, but if we did, it would have been the Titans offense because that was hot garbage. 106 yards.
Yeah, and you know what, man?
In 4 quarters.
Yeah, but on the flip side of that, the Ravens look good. I'm serious, man.
I am a believer in the Ravens.
They went in that draft and they got some good wide receivers.
They did, but 106 yards in a professional football game. That ain't unless that's the 2000 Ravens defense.
Yeah.
Or the 85 Bears.
I mean, you still got Suggs on the team.
No. Hey, and as an Alabama fan, I like the Ravens because they draft a lot of Alabama players.
They do.
Yeah, but no, that was all about the Titans, man. All about the Titans. And I just never seen anything that bad in an NFL game.
Yeah, that was horrible.
So they're my biggest no-show of the week. All right. So transition once again, man. We've had college football, we've had NFL, NBA kicked off last night.
Oh yeah,
I know both of us were looking forward to that and tuned in. So I want to get your thoughts on that first game that we saw. All right, Boston against Philly.
Yeah, so I had high hopes for Philly. Philly is a fun team. Embiid, he's a fun player. Ben Simmons, I think, is a generational player. But them two guys can't shoot. You know, Joel Embiid, he's great in the paint. You know, his hands are big. He can do these finger rolls to the rim. You know, Ben Simmons, same thing. You know, he can drive. He can do these little floaters. I mean, these are big guys. Both of these guys are over 6'10".
They're both guys who are very good around the basket.
Good around the basket, you know. But they don't have anybody to kick it out to, you know, to keep their offense legit, you know, to keep them honest. So to keep the opponent's defense honest. And I don't see them competing, man, with the Celtics. Dude, that Celtics team is unbelievable.
It is.
From Kyrie Irving, I would assume is their top player, all the way down, man, to number 12. You know, top to bottom.
Yeah. I'll say this. Last year, when Boston beat Philly in the playoffs without Kyrie and without Gordon Hayward,
yeah,
we kind of said, Philly, if you can't beat them without their two best players, when are you going to beat them?
Never.
And we saw game one when they had those two guys back.
Yeah. It looked horrible.
Philly's not on their level.
No. Philly looked like a 45 to 50 win team.
And they can be higher than that.
They could.
When they play Boston, they don't match up well with Boston.
No.
Boston's way too deep. And with their five on the floor of Horford, Hayward, Brown, Tatum, and Kyrie, there is no weak link. There is nobody you can help off of. There's every guy can do. And Tatum is becoming one of the best scorers in the league.
Tatum, to me, is going to be a top 5 player this year.
He has the potential to be. I just don't know the way Boston has so much talent and the ball is going to be spread around. I think every night is going to be kind of a different guy. For him to be, I mean, top 5, you're talking about LeBron, KD, Steph, Harden, Westbrook.
Yeah.
I don't know if he can get up there. Anthony Davis, you know, Kawhi.
Top 5, bro.
I do think he'll be an all-star this year.
Tatum is the only player on that team that has dog in him. That he wants to go out there and get it and dunk on, you know, your best player, talk shit, you know, with the eye winks, all that stuff. I got Tatum top 5, bro.
You premature.
So when they were screaming Mahomes is the MVP and the best ever to throw the football, weren't they premature?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey man, we love anointing the next one.
Yeah.
Right? Now I think Mahomes is the real deal, but come on. And I know who that was. That's my boy Illuminati. Illuminati was up there talking about in the group talking about Holmes is the best in the league right now.
Yeah,
Stop
right.
playing.
Come on, bro.
Stop.
You saw what happened when he played the best in the league.
As we saw Aaron Rodgers this past week too.
Yeah. But with Tatum, and I may be, you know, being a little I don't know, what do you call that? I'm embellishing a little bit, you know. So I got Jason Tatum as a top 10 player.
I can see it because the talent and the potential is there. Whether it's this year or not, I can't argue with that. But he is definitely gonna be mentioned up there.
He's a top 10 player.
Think about this too. This is really the dynamic to this situation. Philly traded up with Boston to go get Markelle Fultz at number 1, and Boston took Jason Tatum later. That is really what makes this whole thing crazy. Like, Philly, you got played.
Yeah, because Markelle Fultz is probably going to be out of the league in about a year or two.
It's really sad, man. His jump shot is broke.
Yeah, horrible.
He's a broken player right now.
He looked worse than
trying to get him going. They got him in the starting lineup, but last night in 28 minutes of play, he got you. I think he had 5 points last night in 28 minutes.
Yeah,
you can't.
No. Philly's
former number 1 overall pick.
Yeah, no. Philly is one of those teams where you got 2 big guys clogging the middle up, and they're going to kick the ball out. You got to be able to make that shot.
Yep.
And they can't count on him.
I also felt like if Philly was going to be a true contender this year, I thought they needed to go out and get Paul George.
Yeah.
I thought Paul George would have fit in nicely with Simmons and Embiid. And unfortunately, he didn't get a chance to make the run because he decided to re-sign with OKC before he didn't do the tour and go kind of see what else was out there.
I don't know, man.
They need another piece.
Yeah, but Paul George is more of a half-court player. Philly needs a run-and-gun player. I think that, maybe Zach LaVine, I think he has a – yeah. He's a run-and-gun dude, man. I like him. I like his game.
I'm a Bulls fan. I like Zach LaVine too, but you're going to give me Zach – I'd trade Zach LaVine for Paul George.
Well, see, with Zach LaVine is a whole lot cheaper than Paul George.
True.
Yeah.
That is true. But my point is that Philly needs another piece if they're going to compete with Boston.
Yeah, they need another piece. They need another maybe 2 pieces.
Yep. And the way a lot of people are talking, they don't know if Golden State's a shoe-in to win it again. Man, Boston is – a lot to like in Boston.
No, hold up, bro. You're going too far.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Kevin, you're going too far, bro.
They match up well.
We're talking about Boston.
And they have a better bench.
We're talking about Philly. But when you go over to the West Coast and you're talking about this dynasty team in the Bay Area, bro, they got Boogie Cousins on, he's not even playing.
No. We got to see how Boogie looks. I'm with you on that. Golden State's still the favorite. Don't get it twisted.
Dude, they are by far the favorite. By far.
Boston matches up. That's all I'm saying.
Did you see the game last night versus OKC?
Yeah.
Steph Curry, like he's nuts, bro. He can make the ball. He can make the shot from anywhere.
He can
anywhere, man.
But Boston matches up and has a better bench.
And you know what's crazy about Golden State is that these guys are all still like 29, 30, 31. They in their prime.
Mm-hmm.
They got like 2 or 3 more years in their prime. They ain't getting banged up because they shooting threes.
All right, man. So, man, we covered NBA, we covered college football, we covered NFL. Now it's time for the part that everybody waits for. Locks. All right, man. Yep. So what you got?
All right. So I'm gonna do 1 college, and then I'm gonna do 2 NFL. So in college, I got Washington State over Oregon. Yeah. Washington State over Oregon.
That's not a bad one. Oregon's coming off the big win, kind of let down game. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, Washington State looking good. Or they both have NFL style quarterbacks. But I think Washington State has a little bit more offense, and I think they're gonna win that game. I got them winning 33-30.
33-30.
Yep.
All right. So who else you got?
All right. So I got New England over Chicago. I think the Bears have enjoyed a good ride. They definitely won September Super Bowl. Khalil Mack won the September MVP. But now it's time for real teams. And I got the Pats over the Bears, 27-20. I don't really think it's going to be that close, but I want to say that the Pats are going to cover the spread.
Okay. All right. What's your third lock?
All right. So my third lock, I got Houston over Jacksonville. Now, the reason why I got Houston over Jacksonville, Deshaun Watson is looking a whole lot better than he was the first couple of games. They're starting to connect with his receivers. And I think the Jags are spiraling, man. Like we talked about distractions before. They talked to Jalen Ramsey about what? What happened? You're talking all this smack, and now you're saying, I don't know. So now he's a target by the media. You know what I'm saying? Now he's that distraction. Now, after every game, they're gonna go to him and say, hey, what happened?
Yeah.
Last year, they were going to him.
I agree. Once he opened his mouth, it was only a matter of time before people started coming at him. So what you got to say now?
And they're gonna do it every game.
Yeah.
They was in Rolling Stone. They want that sound bite. That I don't know is a sound bite. They're gonna do it again. They're gonna hit him up again.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, for my locks, I did the opposite. I got 2 college, 1 NFL. Lock Ole Miss over Auburn. Man, Auburn is a dumpster fire.
Yeah, they are.
The Gus bus is burning. It is on fire. Everybody's getting off. So it's at Ole Miss. Auburn's not in good spirits. There's a lot of dissension in the locker room that's being reported. Ole Miss has defensive issues, but we know they can score. And I think they're gonna beat Auburn.
Yeah, that's good. I like Ole Miss.
Now, this is my kind of, I won't say shot in the dark, because it's not a shot in the dark, but kind of unconventional pick. I really like TCU playing Oklahoma this weekend.
Ooh.
I'm telling you, man. And this is why. TCU have skilled players, they have speed, they can score. Their quarterback scares me a little bit because he's inconsistent. He gets sloppy with the ball. He can have turnovers.
Yep.
But Oklahoma's defense is horrendous. And not only is it bad, and they fired the defensive coordinator, Mike Stoops, but then they promoted somebody within the staff who's a former offensive coordinator. He's not even a defensive coordinator. So they got an offensive coordinator as their new defensive coordinator. Give me TCU. Give me TCU.
Yeah, their defense has been getting up a lot of points, man.
Yeah. And so in my final one, I'm going to the NFL, and I actually chose the exact same one you did. But for different reasons. I chose it because Blake Bortles, I think Houston's defense is going to have a field day with Blake Bortles. Like I said, that Jacksonville running game isn't good right now to protect Blake Bortles, and they're having to rely more on Blake's arm. Nah, give me Houston over Jacksonville. Lock it.
Yep. Good pick.
Yep. All right, man. So any go backs?
Man, you know what? One team that I thought was going to come out and look a whole lot better were the Titans. And that last game, I had the Titans because I remember we did a show about 3 in, 3 out.
Yep.
And the Titans were one of my teams that I thought was in and looked like they were going to go to the playoffs.
I mean, they were a playoff team last year.
Yeah. So I thought the Titans were going to improve on that, and they were kind of going to be like this year's Jacksonville. Mariota is not the quarterback that I thought he was. He looked horrible versus the Ravens. So I'm going back on that pick, and I apologize, poor Yakking world.
I do want to go back to one thing that we talked about 2 weeks ago. No, we didn't have the show last week. 2 weeks ago, we talked about what the Patriots could be with Edelman coming back and Josh Gordon now playing. And we saw that this past week, what this offense could look like with Gronk, Edelman, and Gordon.
Yeah, let's touch on a little bit about what we talked about in the group when it comes to Gordon and, talent over distraction, talent over drama.
Yeah.
Gordon's talent outweighs whatever drama he had going on in his life.
And let's be honest, his drama is that he smoked weed.
Yeah.
So as long as he can not smoke weed and get suspended, there really is no drama with him.
Really, yeah, right. And and Josh Gordon is not one of those type of players that's in the media and talking and disrupting the locker room. So I think that was a steal for the Patriots, and they gave up what, a 7th-round pick?
I mean, yeah, he was basically free.
Yeah, he was free. And now the Patriots have an All-Pro wide receiver they got for nothing.
Yeah. So they got him. And he's just going to keep getting more comfortable with Brady.
Yeah.
Edelman's back off suspension. Gronk is healthy. You still got Hogan. You still got James White out the backfield. You got Sonny Michel. Man, if the Patriots can get any kind of defense.
Yeah. Because right now they're outscoring teams.
Yeah.
As opposed to holding teams. Because, I mean, Brady's still coming from behind.
Yeah. And I'm with you. I was really close to picking New England as my lock this week against Chicago because I think New England's about to roll.
Yeah.
I
think they're about to pull off about a good 4 or 5 wins in a row and, just blow everybody out.
Yeah.
And I was reading an article, and they're saying that Josh Gordon is looking like Randy Moss in practice with Tom Brady.
I mean,
that's scary.
It is, and we know Josh Gordon has that kind of. He don't have Randy Moss talent, but he has the capability to be that, like you say, All-Pro, #1 down the field threat type of target wide receiver. And now he's playing with arguably the greatest quarterback of all time.
Oh, the best quarterback of all time. And
I said arguably.
Yeah, I can see. And here's the thing: I seen Brady throw the ball downfield to Josh Gordon. And Josh Gordon is not open. There's 2 players on Josh Gordon.
Yep.
Josh Gordon gets open to catch the ball.
You know what that's called? That's called trust.
That's called mossing. Boy, out there mossing.
True that. All right, man. Any last words? Any parting shots you got for us?
Nah, I just want to give again. My heart is heavy for my folks down in Panama City. I lived there for about 3 years, went to high school there. So just a big shout out to those folks down there. Hopefully the city gets through whatever they got to get through and be stronger than ever.
Yep. Hey, I feel you, and I second that. I feel the same way. I spent 3 years down there in the Air Force. But I want my last words to be, this is Tennessee week. And I'm a Bama fan. And in the words of a brother who has gone famous on the internet for the last 10 years, I just want to say, I hate Tennessee, man. I hate Tennessee. Got that throw up orange. It ain't that orange you can sit with. It's that puke inside of a pumpkin orange. Yeah, man, I hate they some snitches. I'm not a dog person. I hate Tennessee, man. I just can't stress that enough. Tennessee week, baby.
We need to get him on the show.
We do, man. That dude is famous.
Yeah, got about 50 million views.
All because he hates Tennessee. That's a true Bama fan right there.
Yeah,
I respect you. All right, man. All right, everybody. It's been a good show. Really enjoyed it, man. Same time next week.
Yeah, next week, same time.
All right, yo. So everybody, signing off. Have a good one. God bless.